Hey Nat, what's up, pal? Yeah, let's make it a nice deep shavasana the whole time. That'd be great, huh? All right. So as you're joining, if you'd like to participate in a 5-minute mindfulness meditation, these are great opportunities whether you have a meditation practice regularly or if you're just starting out with a meditation practice. I'm gonna zip up my mosquito protector, hence why I have long sleeves and a winter hat on in what feels like the middle of summer here in Los Angeles. And you may start to notice we've introduced the 5-minute mindfulness meditations for about a week and a half now, I think. And there's a almost an excitement for the meditation, or at least a thirst or curiosity. And you may start to notice that you're much more sensitive in that moment when you transition from, engaging everything that's around you with your eyes and your five senses, and really starting to appreciate that switch and transition and dropping into your stillness, but also to your ability to observe. So make yourself comfortable. Really, the only physical requirement is to have your head above your heart. So if you can go cross-legged, fine. If you got a bum knee or your hips are tight on one side, you could always sit with one leg out in front. You could sit on your shins. You can use your stack and elevate your bum. And don't worry about what it looks like. You're working and to really stack up into a tall spine. In general, you can have your palms facing down onto your thighs. I'm actually going to tuck my hands inside my shirt because of the mosquitoes. They're pretty gnarly already tonight, I can tell. And then relax your shoulders down away from your ears. You become conscious and aware of a breath or two. Feel the inhale through your nose and the exhale out of your mouth. A couple waves of breath here, and then we're going to let the breath be natural. We'll actually use it as a grounding feature within our body and to remain seated. And then a soft focus can be applied to observing the air as it comes into your body and the air as it goes out of your body. And so that if your mind does tend to drift and wander, it's not that we want to control it or try to bring it back. And we actually want to open it up a little bit wider. And so don't worry about where it goes. But it's nice to feel grounded by something, aware of something, and that's the soft focus that you can place on observing the air coming into your body and the air going out of your body. And jaw relaxed, and you're welcome to join me and close your eyes, but you don't have to. And if you have eyes open, and pick one spot, probably about 5 feet or so in front of you. And your eyes are slightly tilted down. And become more aware of the natural breath and what that feels like in your body without changing it in any way. Practice openness and being open to everything here for the next 4 or 5 minutes, and then I'll call you back. Go ahead and drop in and enjoy your practice tonight. And please see that all we're doing is placing ourselves in the opportunity to be and to accept right where we are. And you're of course welcome to continue your meditation until we start class. And whenever you're ready, you can draw a breath and sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, feel the space, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And slowly begin to bring your eyes back into the room. I say the room, and I mean the environment, that which once again you can engage with all 5 of your senses, and you may feel it. And you can say your eyesight might become a little bit more vivid around colors. The clarity, the crispness, the sharpness of your vision may have shifted through the practice of mindfulness meditation. So welcome back, everybody. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. Friday night, thank you for joining. We've got a few minutes, so if you're still getting yourself set up, collecting your stack, if that's your yoga block, pillow or blanket. Hey, Biz. You can get your music set up. Hopefully everything is a matter of relatively close to, practice ready. If you're able to, I know if we're sharing the spaces with our families and others, we might have to straighten up and slide things aside and then set them back up again, but hopefully they're pretty much ready to go. You've gotten the swing. Notice if you've been able to normalize even the conditions of your practice as they have changed from what you once knew to what you know now. And it's pretty cool to take that, inventory and check in once in a while on normalization, that which your mind and your ability to adapt then puts it in front of you and says, okay, this is normal now. Normal is typically followed by now. So sore, Ari. Rai, good evening. Ari, I believe you are the trusty scribe, and I mentioned it on the live chat today, but went to the studio to water the plants, and I had a package with this amazing t-shirt, so I wanted to thank you for sharing the love, and I couldn't agree more with the sentiment on this t-shirt. You can read, but love is the only language I speak fluently. And so I love it. Thank you. And you can check out Ari on his Instagram at TrustyScribe. The only reason I'm zipping it back up is because of my mosquito friends. Bri, where are you at? Today you were driving. I didn't know if you were driving around town or if you were maybe heading somewhere. I also got a new mosquito bracelet from my sister-in-law, Lori. Thank you. We're giving it all a go. I've done sprays. I've got candles and more candles on the way. So now a little bracelet, and we'll see what happens. Derek, sup? The true test will be as we reintroduce ourselves into society and culture. Will you guys have something better to do on a Friday night at 7:30 than hang out with me, either virtually or possibly in person? Yes, Ari, thank you again. Hi, Emily. Hi, Ashley. And so with health as a condition of your comfort, like if you're not healthy, you're probably not very comfortable with where you are. So realize with health as a condition of your comfort, is anybody starting to feel as we, I think today was a day in Los Angeles where we started to shift into some things opening up, obviously with a massive amount of awareness, which is going to be the trickiest part. This is a practice that requires awareness on every single individual's part. It's hard to do when you have a yoga studio and that's what you're offering and hoping to invite people to experience. So I can't imagine what this practice is going to be like with every single human in our city, in our state, in our country. Oh, right on. Sending love to Beverly Bry. I hope you guys are doing okay. All right, we'll continue in the practice. So I'm going to start the playlist. Last night, these things can never, practices aren't meant to be replicated. But I do want to mention that if you find that there is a practice that really resonated with you, now you have, before we were live streaming and capturing these experiences on the channel, you would have that class and maybe remember something from it, maybe not. But if something resonates, make a little note of those classes, because you can always go back and you can practice them again and then experience them, for what they are in the new moment that you're in. So they're not meant to be replicated. Like last night we had a super moon detox, and there were feelings and there was things that were happening. So opening up to the unique nature of each practice, and at the same time make a little note, because you might ultimately go back and do that one again. All right, here we go. And start your Spotify playlist if you're streaming from Spotify. I'm surprised nobody has yet commented on my sock game. I'm pulling out all my colorful socks I had on, Christmas tree socks the other night, but nobody. You guys haven't even, teased me or anything about the color, style, nothing. Just socks, I guess. And we're going to start tonight. Nat was suggesting Shavasana detox the whole time. That is actually much more challenging than you would think it would be, to remain still. We might explore that at some point, but lying on your back for an hour is actually very interesting and deep practice. So we'll get there, but we're going to start in a child's pose tonight. And put any padding that you might need underneath your knees or behind your knees. And adjust your knees in and out so that it feels good for you. And you can use your props or your stack underneath your bum in between your feet. And then when you're ready, go ahead and make your way down, belly over your thighs. The elbows, chest, head. We can begin to rest. The elbows go out a little bit wider. So this is a passive child's pose versus sometimes in flow when you're in an active child's pose and your arms are, actively engaged and reaching out. Find a space where you can soften and let your forehead come down to rest on something. And the truth is, we're not really sure. So if you set your knees and you're like, I think this could feel a little bit better if I turn the knees out or bring them in, do that. And take your first 30 seconds or so and find space in the position of your body. And then we'll start to lower and rest in the position.
You feel into the muscles in your jaw and your mouth and loosen them. It might feel good to slide your jaw side to side a few times. And as I was saying on the Yoga Life live chat today, not activating the breath can be as tricky as activating the breath. And so it is a breath practice to sit in a natural breath as much as it is, and to work a deep ujjayi breath during this practice. And we do less by letting the breath remain natural. Our intent is not necessarily to build more heat, but to actually cool things down. Think of it like if there's hot spots in a fire. You want to pour the bucket of water on that part of the fire. Enjoy the space. We'll be here for a little while. And let anything in your front body continue to soften. And we'll sit for about 10 more breaths in this shape. And pretty much keep this shape in place. You guys make a fist with your right hand. And lift your head up, make a fist with your left hand, and then stack your left fist over your right, and so that your forehead can come down on top of your left fist. And feel the pressure connecting on top of your fist to your forehead. When you focus on these sensations, allow this to release all the muscles in your face that you didn't even know you were activating and possibly gripping. And as slowly as you can, start to hover your forehead off your fist. And then you can make your way back up to your left hand. And come back up onto your right hand. And keep the head heavy, chin to your chest, hips to your heels. And take a deep breath, and you can soft sigh, exhale out of your mouth. And shift some weight into your knees, roll onto your left hip, and we're going to turn to face the side edge of your mat. As you turn, let your right leg go out straight, and the sole of your left foot towards your inner right thigh like a tree leg. And so you're facing the side of your mat. You feel if you're a little wobbly underneath your sit bones. Understand you have your legs, you set up asymmetrically, just means one leg is doing one thing and the other leg is doing something else. So you could always slide a towel, roll up your mat, and make it so that you can feel level here in your pelvis. And bring another part of your stack out in front of your chest. And relax your toes. It's very normal to grip this shape with your toes. Let your toes soften. And you can stay on your hands or come forward onto your forearms. And play with the feeling of balance. If you feel like you're tipping over, then just slide your block a little further underneath your left arm. Play with it. Get yourself set up. And feel something around your inner right thigh. And then let yourself drop into it here. If it's still pretty tight in your face, flutter your lips one time. We're going to treat this posture in 3 phases for about 1 minute in each phase.
Feel what you're feeling here. Observe 3 more breaths. In phase 2, you can keep the head relatively heavy and start to walk your hands over towards your right leg. And so your left hand is inside and your right hand is outside your right leg. And you can slide your hands forward any amount, and now let your forehead and start to come down more towards your right knee. I realize there can be an urge to reach out for your foot and hold on, but I would encourage you to keep the hands disconnected from the foot or from the leg and feel what it's like to let your torso round, flex, and fold here, and forehead somewhat over your knee. And you can notice this and continue to observe and reflect. And because typically, and you would just take your body into a lunge, you would never normally prepare the back leg and the inner hip crease and the groin the way we're doing tonight. And take 3 more breaths in this shape. And by taking breath, I mean simply observe in 3 breath cycles as the air comes into your body and the air goes out of your body. And there's absolutely no rush. Start to walk your hands in. And roll up through your spine, and then we're going to walk the hands in towards the left knee. And set your stack aside. And then as you roll yourself towards square, a right knee stays down. And step your left foot forward in between your hands. And then start to slide your left foot forward as you slide your right knee back. And coming into a lunge with both hands inside your left foot. And the option to stay on your hands. You set your stack under your forearms, or bring your forearms and your chest all the way down towards the ground. And feel the space through your right inner thigh. In this case, it might actually be easier done and then said. And so give it a go if you want to explore forearms down onto the mat, and then let your head get heavy.
In bonus time, so you can observe with your mind, we're going to stay for one last minute, and it's about 10 natural breath cycles. You loosen your tongue, soften your lips. And last 5 breaths on this side. As slowly as you can, let's start to pull it back, come up onto your hands. You're in a pretty wide stance, and so use a little bit of your belly strength to support your low back as your hips come back and you slide your left foot back behind you. And take your left knee, shin down onto the ground. And then bring your right foot forward. And sit back onto your left heel with your right leg straight out in front of you. And roll up, feel the lightness in the stack of your spine. And get your bum adjusted on your left heel. And then once you're settled there, if you need something underneath your right sitting bone, you can place it. And then as you're ready, start to slide the hands out in front and bow. And take a bow, forehead and towards the earth and chest, and collapsing into itself. And feel something in the back of your right leg. I won't be mad at you if you fall asleep in this posture tonight. If you start drooling, if you let your head get so heavy and release all the muscles in your face. A deep forward fold with your eyes closed can be a bit disorientating, so please, if you feel shattered, if you feel in bits and pieces moving around like you've never felt before, and stay with it, trust the process. We got 1 more minute on this side. Slowly, and you're welcome to keep your closed and through the entire transition. And start to slide the hands in. And roll up 1 vertebra at a time. And all we're going to do is just rock off onto the right side. Untuck your left leg. And let it come out in front of you. And then go ahead and lie down onto your backs, please. Let's drop into this rebound. You're going to have a little bit more space. And to release down here onto your back. And so make it a good and relaxed setup. And be patient with your eyes closed and feel this flow anywhere in your body. And if you really started to drift, bring yourself back through this next breath. And take an inhale, bring some movement back into your fingers and your toes.
You take your arms over your head. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Nice. Bend your legs so that your feet are flat. And you roll onto your right side, and let's come back up to a seat and facing the right side edge of your mat, please. And left leg is going to be straight. And sole of your right foot towards your left inner thigh. And you realize it's not perfectly placing the foot. You want to meet a balanced perspective through your pelvis. And you realize there's a dependency through your hip crease and your inner thigh, so you pad yourself where you need to. Use your pillows and your blankets. Your stack can come out in front, and then you can come forward onto your elbows, onto the stack, or possibly all the way down onto the ground. And I'd say observe with interest. I guess you combine those two words together and you have curiosity. Truly, we don't know where this practice is going. All that we can honor is the place where we are, in this moment in time where we sit, and where we hope to evolve and expand our practice, and where in the moment in the yoga life and becomes a built-in framework, like a lifestyle, and helps support our overall health and wellness physically, emotionally, mentally, and if there's a thirst for it, it can be a spiritual practice as well. Reminder, there's a subconscious tendency to grip and keep the toes tight and flexed, and let your toes relax, please. We'll go phase by phase again. 3 more breaths in this. And keep the head pretty low. Use your hands. And then just begin to walk them towards your left leg. So your left hand is outside, and your right hand is inside. And your torso and gently squares itself over your left leg, and then you can start to release your forehead towards your knee. In this practice, in a way, you're taking yourself off of autopilot. So rather than reaching out and grabbing for the foot, let it be passive. Soften your belly and see where it goes as you let your head get heavy. As you observe the end of this breath cycle, start to walk your hands back in. You feel it as you release the compression from your belly and your chest into the front of your spine. And then we'll walk our hands in towards the right knee, turn ourselves and so that your left leg is behind you. And then slide your right foot forward in between your hands. As much space as you can between your right heel and your left knee. So keep sliding. And you can either stay on your palms, set your stack underneath your forearms, or come all the way down, forearms to your mat, and let your head release. And let your head release. And let it ache, let it burn. And keep the head heavy last minute. Feel it all. And the difference when you have the practice on your side is even when you face challenges, your intense experiences, your mind understands that you're thriving, and versus the reactionary mode where, you hang on for dear life. The stress of your survival instincts and fraying you out at the edges. And feel this space, practice, and be. And take it slow as you start to bring your hands back onto the mat. You start to slide your right foot back behind you. And come onto all fours first. And then bring your left foot forward. And sit back onto your right heel so that your left leg is straight out in front of you. If you haven't faced this way in a while on your mat, take a beat. And get your hips set onto your right heel. If you need something underneath your left and sitting bone, you can place it. If not, and when you're ready, start to slide your hands. And slide your hands forward. Release the urge to hold on in any way through the shape and the form. Soften your belly, and so we get as much compression as deeply as we can in through the front of your spine.
And feel the expansion across your back and your neck, back of your head and your skull. Keep softening your belly. Continue to fold here. We'll stay for about 10 more breaths. And notice how you let go all the way. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed. As you transition mindfully, start to walk your hands in. As you start to feel the stack of your spine rock off onto your left hip. And then you can untuck your right leg and let it come out in front of you. If you need to scooch forward on your mat, please do, and then go ahead and lie down onto your back, please. Have your stack and beside you, like hip height.
really come down to enjoy this and release. You've done both sides now. And so feel the extra space. Your centered mind, your calm and more still mind, perhaps. Enjoy it here. All right, you guys, go ahead and bend your legs so that your feet are flat. And take part of your stack and lift your hips, and so that you can slide your stack underneath your bum. And then once you got your sacrum set on your stack, go ahead and release your legs long. And feel the space in the front of your waist. And feel any sensations in your low back and around your sacrum. And some openness in your belly if you're holding on to a lot of tension in your belly. And the weight in your shoulders. And relax the muscles in the front of your neck. And around your eyes and your cheeks. You feel as there is a flow of warmth and energy flowing throughout your entire body. And place perhaps in where you can feel the acceptance of your mind in its journey, blended with the and physical journey that you're on and with your body, and where they begin to blend. And rather than making waves, and there's a peaceful presence and through both of them simultaneously. And just feel it as though the waves continue crashing into the shore, breaking down. And again, this is a warm flow of energy that is moving through your body. And you can relax or release your persistence on excellence, or even the yearning that you may have and to do better or to grow. Relax that persistence and just settle in this warm flow. And go nice and slowly, one leg at a time. Bend your legs, bring your feet flat. Once you feel your feet on the mat, and go ahead and elevate your hips just enough to slide your stack, your block out. And then let your hips come back down onto the ground. Connect the soles of your feet together. And let your knees fall apart. And take your right hand onto your belly and rest your left hand onto your chest, please. Let's go ahead and take your hands to your outer thighs, please. Bring your knees back together. And take a deep breath. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze tonight. You can even curl your forehead up into your knees. Get into a tight, tiny little ball. then you can let it go and release your legs long and bring your arms by your sides, welcoming yourself into your final Shavasana. And take one deep breath into a sigh exhale. And be still, let yourself be here. Mm. And please allow yourself to lie in this space of abundance in so many ways, and you can explore what that means for you tonight. And of course, you're always welcome to continue your meditation and your Shavasana for as long as you'd like to. And I look forward to continuing to share this adventure and practice with each of you. I thank you all so much and for being here tonight and so consistently most of the nights. It really means a lot. And I hope you feel the love and continue to share the love and the peace with everybody around you. Have a beautiful night, everybody. And see you tomorrow morning for our flow. Sleep well. Namaste.